Hello, everyone, and thanks for stopping by. Would you like to learn the truth about offshore wind? I mean, if you've been around the waterfront, have you ever wondered what's really going on offshore there? Are they going to shut down fishing access? Are these things going to screw up the fishing? Are they really worth it? Well, I'm going to do the best I can to answer a bunch of those questions, and I believe by the end of this, you're going to discover that they're nowhere near as bad as a couple of the people that are saying. Matter of fact, they're really good. They're good for the environment. They're going to be good for the fishing. They're going to create lots of jobs and lots of other stuff, okay? And my promise to you is I'm going to share with you just the truth. I'm going to share with you what I learned, okay? The problem is with the offshore wind businesses, there's a couple of naysayers that are yapping with big mouths, and they have nothing really good to say about them. And developers have done a really abysmal job of getting the word out. They've been too busy doing things, so they haven't really gotten anything done. So I'm going to try to address that, okay, and bring you the truth. And who am I and why listen to me? Real quick, I'm not going to get into it much. For 18 months, I was captain on one of the offshore wind vessels, okay? I grew up on the water. I'm a fourth generation fisherman in the Northeast. I have a brother in the business. I have a son and a nephew in the fishing business. I have two cousins and I think seven second cousins in the fishing business, all around where these windmills are going to be. So if there was anything bad about these things, believe me, I'd be screaming from the rooftops. That's not the fact. I went from a hater to a doubter to curious to, you know what, I'm going to roll up my sleeves and get involved in this business and just see the truth. That's what I'm going to share with you today. It's the truth. I'm not being paid by anyone to do this either. I'm doing this because the word has to get out. Call me a whistleblower. Call me whatever you want. The fact is, I'm just going to be sharing you the truth because I hate lies. I hate liars. I'm going to get rid of some of the myths. I'm going to take the myths and I'm going to turn them into the realities and hopefully lessen some of your apprehension. Now, just remember, I was captain on a survey vessel, so I had access to all sorts of information that most people never are privy to. I got inside information. I'm going to share some of that with you. I'm going to share all of it with you, actually. So let's go through the 6 common myths and fake news. Okay, number one, they changed the migratory patterns of fish. Two, they're going to permanently close areas to fishing. Three, survey vessels hurt marine mammals' ears. Four, these windmills are going to create radar echoes that are going to be harmful to navigation. Five, there's tax credits. It's a big hedge fund scam. And six, no American jobs. These are the 6 items we're going to address today. Okay. Number one, change the migratory patterns of fish. I've been in the fishing business a long time. Fish follow food and they follow water temperature. They don't read lands, they don't read ranges, they don't have a GPS, and they definitely don't have a post office box. Okay? Fish follow water temperature, they follow food, and food, small fish look for structures that they can hide from and grow and live peacefully, so to speak, without fear of being eaten by the big fish. And what happens is you put a structure in the water, the little fish show up, the big fish show up to feed off of the small fish. These are pictures of the Gulf of Mexico. These rigs are put in the Gulf of Mexico or pretty much put in barren territory. I've fished hundreds, at least 100 of them, maybe 200 of these rigs from time to time. These rigs are absolutely loaded with fish where fish were never there before. Okay, the fishing is phenomenal off the oil rigs. It's going to happen to the offshore wind rigs as well. Here's some smaller fish. Okay, this is on the other. This is in the on the eastern side of the Atlantic, like Norway or somewhere like that. One of the rigs that has a ton of codfish swimming around them. And here's a picture, underwater picture of this is actual footage now of the Block Island wind farm, one of the windmills off Block Island. They've been there now about 5 years. This picture is about 3 years old, so this is about a 3-year-old picture. You can see all of the mussels and the fish swimming around. The windmills around Block Island are absolutely loaded with fish. Here's a short video. You go to YouTube and you can type in Block Island wind farm fishing. There's a ton of videos of people fishing around the windmills. And the windmills are loaded with fish. They hold tons of fish. Now, where these fish were, where these windmills were installed, was all sand bottom. It was nothing. There was no fish there. Okay, none. Now these things are loaded with fish. So that just shoots to heck the number one myth that they don't hold fish. Now let's shoot this one down. The Block Island, you're not going to be able to fish the windmills. They're closed to fishing areas. Really? Pictures are worth 1,000 words. Here's 4 pictures of people fishing the Block Island windmills on a passenger fishing vessel. Go to YouTube, type in Block Island windmills fishing, and you'll see tons and tons of pictures. Now you can't anchor on the windmills, on the turbines. You can't tie off on the turbines. Obviously, they're private property, but you can fish around them all you want, and it's written in the lease that you can fish around them. Here's 4 guys that make their living fishing the windmills, for crying out loud, off Block Island. They have charter operations. Go to YouTube, look it up yourself, and let these guys tell you themselves what they've experienced with the windmills. As for holding fish, go to Google Images, Block Island windmill. Type that in and take a look at some of the fish. These are codfish caught at the Block Island windmills. So to say that they're not going to hold fish, or to say that you can't fish them, that's just a lie, flat out lie. So there's 2 of the myths shot right to hell. Number 3, the hurt marine mammals' ears. That's baloney. Here's an actual swath of a survey vessel. Okay, I was on the vessel that we took this. We have little teeny tiny transducers that we tow very close to the bottom. They are very low output. Okay, the transducers are monitored 24 hours, 7 days a week, and they're towed very close to the sea floor. Most fishing vessels have more output on their transducers looking for fish than the survey vessels do. We tow small transducers put on a chain kind of wide to make a wide survey path to see what the bottom contour is and to get an up-close feel for what the bottom is. They don't hurt marine mammals' ears. And we have, on the survey vessels, have PSOs, protected species observers, on the boat. And they have lookouts outside, monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Always someone there. Always someone on the lookout. And for crying out loud, if a whale or a porpoise comes close, all survey operations are shut down. Equipment shut down. Heck, a turtle, if a turtle is 150 feet away from the boat, we turn away, go away from them. So there's no chance of any marine mammals or turtles or anything else being harmed. None. Let's get into a harmful to navigation. Well, one of the things that the fishermen are saying is they create second echoes on the radars. Any large target creates a second echo on a radar. Go past a ship and you'll see that the second echo. And there's a little dial, it's called gain. You turn it down and the second echo goes away. There's plenty of room between the windmills. They're going to be a 1 mile grid, 1 mile apart. If you can't go between 2 structures that are a mile apart with a boat that's 35 feet wide, something's wrong. Definitely wrong with you. All of these windmills will be on the new navigational charts, plainly marked. They will be on the digital plotters, with 99.9% of the vessels operate on now. It's with the digital plotters, and they will be well lit. So unless you have 0 navigation experience, and you have 0 electronics, and you're asleep, you have nothing to worry about. You can very easily navigate around the windmills that are coming. Okay, now next one, number 5, is it's a hedge fund scam. It's not a hedge fund scam because there's no hedge funds involved. None. Okay. Tax credits? Yeah, there'll be some tax credits. What's that? Well, think back. Do you remember AOC with the with Amazon debacle? It was all over the news for, what do you call it? The city wanted, or Amazon wanted X amount of tax credits, so they would build a huge building and create about 25 good-paying jobs. I think it was a $26 billion economic impact to the area. They were looking for, $10 or $15 billion in tax credits. What does that mean? That means Amazon was going to throw in billions of dollars into the area and create tons and tons of jobs that was going to generate hundreds of billions of dollars in income. And all they were looking for was tax credits. In other words, a break on the taxes for the property taxes and some of the income taxes for a while. That's all they were looking for. It's done all of the time in business. And offshore wind is no different. It was just a tax credit in order for them to invest the money to put the offshore windmills out, okay, to run the cables and end up creating about 84,000 jobs around the waterfront. The exact waterfront that now the fishermen are really having a hard time. The waterfront areas are struggling because of fishing regulations and climate change and vessel consolidations. I don't want to go off on a tear, but the waterfront areas are hurting, and the offshore wind business will bring tons of jobs, tons of opportunity, and tons of money to the area. So what we have here is offshore wind will be receiving a couple of billion in tax credits, and they're going to create about 40,000 high-paying American jobs. That's directly related to the water. Total of about 84,000 jobs, actually, with when you get done with the truckers running supplies, when you get done with the grocery stores, the fuel guys, the shipyards, and all of the other things that are going to be needed to provide services for the vessels. But there's about 40,000 people are going to be working on the boats or working on the offshore windmills in order to maintain them and keep them going. Now, one of the other ones said they say there's no American jobs. Well, there are some foreign flagged vessels, yes, that shouldn't be here, and they're getting rid of them. Okay, those boats are going away. The reason why there's some of the foreign boats is because the foreign boats have the technology on board the vessels to do the survey work in order to do the proper engineering and design for the offshore windmills, because they have them overseas for about 20 years now. We don't have any, so this is brand new. Let a couple of foreign flag boats in. They operate. We have Americans on them. I was on one, okay? We learn what they do, we get the technology, and we do it ourselves. Now here's some pictures of 4 foreign flag vessels right now. And here are 4 American flag vessels. Now I'm going to go back there. See the difference? These are big. These are not so big. These big ones are being built now in America, and there's going to be bigger survey vessels. The one here in the lower right, I ran that boat, actually. That's a sister ship to the one I ran. It's 180 foot long. We need some boats a little bit bigger than that. But the American jobs with American flag vessels are coming at breakneck speed. So we take that no American jobs and throw that right out the window. Foreign flag vessels, yes, there are some, but they're going away. No American jobs, well, we just shut that one. Okay, and here's a picture of 2 guys that worked for me on the boat I ran. These are both Americans. One lives in Florida, the other comes from Washington there, around Seattle, Washington, I believe it was, those 2 guys. Guys come from all around the country to work on our vessels, guys with different engineering skills and survey skills, working hand in hand with the other folks from across the pond, the engineers that have actually built these offshore windmills, so we can learn what they're doing and we can do it better. Okay, so we take the American jobs and we just take that one, just throw it away. Okay, when the turbines are under construction, they're going to need tons of American workers to build them. Tons of Americans will be building them. Tons of American vessels will be running the people back and forth in order to fix them and to build them. And when completed, as I said before, there's going to be about 40,000 high-paying American jobs and hundreds of support vessels that are going to be needed. Now, this is just on the water. This doesn't count the support jobs that will be done on land, which will total somewhere about 84,000 by the time we're done. That's what they're saying. Now, these jobs on the water, these guys are going to have jobs with health insurance, paid time off, retirement, and 401k. I haven't seen that in the fishing business or anything even close in the marine business that I've been involved in. I've been involved, like I said, I'm a 3rd generation fisherman. Now, research in the University of Delaware says that the fishing business is collapsing. It employs about 35,000 people right now. We're losing 11 to 13% of the people each year. So the fishing business is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And like I mentioned, the industry is, we have permit consolidation. We have massive increase in permit fees. So the big guns are involved in it. Hedge funds are involved in it now, for crying out loud, not just the average fisherman, okay? And we have all sorts of quotas and day rates. No young guy can afford to go work on the back deck of a fishing boat and then get up into the wheelhouse and then end up owning a boat to raise a family. Those days of the independent fisherman are gone, never to be seen again. Now, when we take a look at the offshore wind business, take a look at the job growth forecast here. Okay, we're about ready to hit 2021-ish. 2022 is about when we're going to hit, I guess you could call it critical mass, because we're going to start building these windmills, and the jobs are just going to be, there's going to be a shortage. There's going to be a shortage. Globally, offshore wind's going to create about 8 million jobs by 2040. We're talking about 84,000 jobs in America alone. In the Northeast, we're talking Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, for the most part. There's going to be some in Delaware, there'll be some in Virginia as well. But once you go from about Cape Hatteras up to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts, there's going to be about 84,000 jobs all around the waterfront where those jobs are needed most. So, let's review here real quick, okay? We had 6 common myths and fake news. Change migratory patterns of fish, close the fishing areas, hurt marine mammals' ears, create radar echoes to navigation, tax credits from hedge funds, no American jobs. Well, let's start this way. Create the radar echoes, we just debunked that one. We debunked all of the others. They're all false, as you can see. Now, God gave us the wind. You see the red area there in the Northeast? That's the windiest part of the eastern coast, okay? God gave us the wind. So why shouldn't we accept it as a gift and use it as best we can? We leave the world a better place, and have cleaner air and cleaner everything else for our grandkids. I mean, that's what we all want, isn't it? We want to be able to live, work, play, and educate our family and watch the kids grow up. Offshore wind can bring that to the fishing communities, and fishing communities should really welcome offshore wind with bear hug enthusiasm. We have waterfront development. Money's going to come in, so the waterfront area is going to get better. They have fish havens. Okay, they're going to build fish havens for free, where the recreational and the for-hire fishing boats will be able to fish them. The fish will have a better chance, and there's going to be plenty of fish for the commercial guys to catch afterwards when the fish start migrating away from the wind farms. And there's going to be thousands of high-paying American jobs. There's the end of my presentation. I hope you got something out of it. Now, again, I created this presentation on my own. No one paid me to do it. No one asked me to do it. I did it myself. I did it because the truth needs to be told. We come into this world with nothing and we leave with nothing. It's my belief that it's our responsibility to leave the world a better place than it was when we got here. And renewable energy will do just that. We owe it to future generations. Now, if you'd like an interview or a group presentation, or if you'd like someone to debate about this, or if you'd like to get involved in offshore wind, contact me. Here's my email address. I hope you got something out of this. I hope to hear from you, and I wish you all the best. Have a great day.